Welcome to the music episode of the LPS Podcast. Here we are turning into the worst a cappella singers you've ever heard.
All right, so welcome to the fourth podcast.
Yeah, thanks for joining us if you've joined us.
So this week we're talking about music, Rory.
Yeah, music is the name of the game.
All right. How did you come across music? When did you start from? Obviously, we're going to talk about this a lot in future podcasts and stuff like that. So let's just give
a quick rundown.
Quick rundown, man.
Well, mostly I loved singing as a kid, so I do a lot of singing. I was in the choir and whatnot.
Ooh, choir boy.
Yeah, I was. I was always trying to get into the choir. I don't know why, but yeah.
I didn't know that about you either. Yeah, crazy.
The choir, and then I wanted to be in the band, so I really wanted to be a trumpet player, but I didn't have the right lips apparently, so I had to play trombone for the mouthpiece to fit. So then I played trombone for a little while, and didn't pick up any chicks. So that was no, that's not true. I was very young.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I got more.
Fuck you, trombone.
I got more not as sexy as it sounds. That instrument. But I got more as I got older. I got more into rock and roll and listening to my parents' music. And then I think I was probably 13 when I picked up a guitar, and then from then on I was just constantly
bands.
Yeah, constantly into music and playing music, and was just entirely obsessed with it, and went through a super dark emo phase.
You got hard drives of recordings, man.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
like ridiculous, like way more than I for sure.
Yeah, I'm just obsessed. Same with film clips and music. It all for me ties in together, and I'm just obsessed with it.
Yep.
Yeah. What about you?
Man, I got into music super young. I guess I don't even know where I got it when I got into music.
You started
really young. I had a really cool older cousin, Luke, and he had a Pearl Export that was absolutely amazing.
Drum kit,
Yeah, and I was that little kid that used to go in there and annoy the shit, and he'd come home and I'd be bashing on him. He's like, get out. So it was always like that temptation. I have to touch this drum kit.
Always just trying to put
like Step Brothers.
I was just about to say, I was trying to put your balls on his kit. Always.
Pretty much. But yeah, one day, man, he came in and he was actually like, "You're doing good." He's like,
cool.
Because I used to mimic him if I heard him or if I heard like Korn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking, this was super young. So yeah, years passed and he sort of gave me tips and and then my parents actually brought that kit off him.
Yeah.
And I progressed for years, man.
You just kept playing,
drumming, like CD player, and I'd just play albums and just learn.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I fucked up once, I start again.
Yeah. Weren't happy with it.
Done the same thing. Went through bands. I was playing for like 30-year-olds when I was 12.
Yeah.
Like they'd test me out and they're like, no, like someone would suggest, no, like he's a kid, and then just
give him a shot.
And they'd just be like, you're in.
That's cool.
That was cool. And yeah, years progressed, man. And I sort of got sick of the band days.
Yeah.
And not that I couldn't rely on certain people, but I just realized that you sort of have to be really self-efficient in this era of music in these days.
Yeah, it gets tough.
Yeah, so
real
I just changed that to music with, music production and
production.
And understanding, VSTs and computer production to allow myself to play all these instruments without having to spend an amazing budget to do it.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, and, to this day, I've done some really cool tours and I've done some really, really cool stuff, which will dabble into, I'm sure, down the road.
Yeah.
But essentially, man, that's how I got into music, and it's always been like the backbone to pretty much like most emotions in my life.
Yeah, true. Yeah, me too. I must admit, it's very therapeutic, and I think now it is. I think music therapy is a legitimate thing now.
What is it that you think that you get out of music the most as a listener?
I think it's that emotional connection.
Yeah.
It's really strange. It can affect my mood so vastly depending on what I'm listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of use it that way. Like if I'm not having a terribly good day, I'll put Walking on Sunshine on or something,
Is that the same as being a writer? Does it do the same thing? Does it have the same effect, or is it like a different emotion?
I'm not sure. I think when I'm writing music and playing live music, and I'm thinking about writing songs and stuff, it's definitely more internal. I don't know if that's just the way I like to write, or it seems to always come out that way. Yeah,
it kind of has to. Well, for it to be for us to enjoy it, it kind of has to happen natural. Like most things. I mean, if it's put on and it was a lot of hard work and not much return, then we're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
But, and I guess while we're dabbling into music, we're going to start doing a bit of a segment.
Yeah, new segment.
We're super excited about this.
I'm pumped.
Both Roy and I have some really cool connections with music and musicians across Australia. So we thought we're going to bring them in and get them to play a song or two songs and just talk about them and, you know, what it is that they do and why they do it.
Yeah, absolutely. This week, is it from Melbourne, I believe?
Melbourne, man.
Our first guest is from Melbourne, and I think he's amazing. He's incredibly talented.
Yep. So, I've known Branford for a while now, and I'm sure a lot of hip-hop heads have heard his name along the traps. He's doing some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he's yet to really display his talents. So, I guess
one to look out for, that's for sure.
So we'll give him a dial now and hopefully he picks up, eh?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Alright, hopefully he answers.
Yeah.
Hello, Branford speaking.
Hello, Branford.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, good, boys. How you going?
Yeah, going good, man.
I'm going tops.
Yeah, man, we're doing this little thing where we're doing the first segment of involving some artists and musicians. So we thought we'd start off with you, dude.
Oh, cheers. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So, do you want to give the people just a little bit of a background about like what you're about and how you got into music?
Yeah. So I'm a producer, a vocalist, a beatboxer, pretty much everything except the rapper, because I'm not really about that.
You're not about the raps.
I'm not about the rap.
Yep.
Music's always been something I've always done, and I've only sort of taken it seriously in the past couple of years, but yeah, I'm sort of thinking about it. It's always been a big part of my life, definitely. I've always grown up with playing it and listening to it and always being around, so yeah.
What was the step that changed you from wanting to do it, I guess, as just like a hobby to wanting to pursue it a little bit further?
Yeah.
I think it was the people around me, sort of you sort of realise it's not just a hobby, this sort of stuff. You're all in or you're nothing.
It's like a lifestyle,
and
I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's an addiction for me, especially. Like, I'll be playing music or making something while I should be doing other things, you know? And that's the kind of philosophy I think is important with, especially kids who start out, you know? It's about making it that thing that you should be doing, that thing that you're doing when you should be doing homework, you know?
Yeah, completely. So, like, you said that you're a beatboxer. Is that something that you started? Where did you start? Like, did it start off as an instrument, or did it start off as beatboxing, or how did it come across?
It was, I think it was mainly because of the fact that I was an only child. Yep. I was always making noises and stuff when I was a kid.
You're that weird kid in kindergarten.
I was that weird kid. I was that weird kid walking around making sounds and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd always, if I was playing with action figures and stuff as a kid, I was always making all the sounds and, they had to be accurate, of course.
Yeah.
But then I sort of saw people like Beatbox, Dub Effects, and Tom Thumb, and I saw these guys, and I was like, wow, these guys can actually, they do stuff. Like, it's not just making sounds.
Yeah, they're touring the world doing this stuff.
Yeah, man, yeah. It's a huge deal. And then I remember when I was in year 12, I got the opportunity to study any sort of genre or style of music that I wanted, and I chose how vocalists imitate instruments. So I did a huge study on beatboxing and a cappella music.
Yep.
So that was a big sort of turning point for me. I was like, wow, people actually, make a living, and actually it's the same thing, it's not just a hobby. It's like people are really invested in this stuff, and there's some really talented people out there, and I was like, I want to be one of those.
Yeah, man. So was it something that you obviously done as just, creating sounds? So from there, did it just lead to getting a looper, or did you start off on a computer doing it before you started? It actually, I started off, I got an app on my phone. I remember it really vividly. It was called Loopy, and it was literally the same as a loop pedal. And it even had the waveform that you could see on the screen. It was awesome. But you could, just loop things endlessly. And I started off by doing that, and just beatboxing into the iPhone headphones and stuff, and it was like awful quality, but for me it was awesome. Like, I'll just do it for hours and hours.
Yeah, good practice. I was just thinking, were there any instruments that as you were growing up or as you were getting into music that really influenced you at all?
Yeah. I remember I played guitar since I was probably 7 or 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
my dad was always playing, and
I
my
didn't
cousins
even know
at the
that
time were all
about you.
playing.
Hey, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
guitar's my first instrument, man. That was my first thing.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite nice every now and then to pick you up and go, pick up the old axe. Haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
But it was really nice, especially when I was probably 17, 18. I took guitar really seriously. I was really sort of into the sort of John Butler style and open tuning and that sort of stuff. And it just
More
sort of
acoustics.
opened up my world, big stuff,
Yeah.
And I'll just play for hours, man. I would totally get lost in it. I just keep playing the same thing over and over. But I'll just keep playing. I'll just play. I don't know what,
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it's like...
But it was weird, man. It became, because I played so much, it became part of muscle memory. So I wasn't even really concentrating on what notes I was playing. So now, if I picked up a guitar, I could do the exact same thing, not even think about what I'm playing. It just becomes part of the memory.
That's the beauty of music, hey? But I know that, like, before you touched on, like, and I know this about you too, about how much Tom Thumb has influenced you.
Yeah.
So, what age did you sort of grab around to Tom Thumb? Because he's been doing his thing for some time.
Yeah. It's actually a really funny story about Tom, because I was probably 16 when I first saw like one of his videos on YouTube, and it was like, a shoddy recording. But he was playing at the time. Well, no, I saw a video of him, but then I saw a video of him and Jamie McDowell, who he tours with at the moment.
Yep.
And Jamie was actually, Jamie was actually one of my sports coaches at school.
Oh, really?
So I was like, whoa, what the hell? Why
things are linking and tying together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so weird, man. It was so weird. But I haven't actually seen Jamie since I've been at school. But yeah, maybe one day.
So and I I know you more personally, but I guess I've noticed a big change that you're concentrating a lot more on producing and sort of I guess you'd say soundscaping and stuff like that. With also what you do at uni.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to go over your roles and what you do at uni and what that entails, man?
Yeah, well, it's a lot to do with my job as well. So I work for a theatre company. So I actually, for all of their plays during the year, I do all of the sound design for that. So whether that involves composing original music or, just creating soundscapes and that sort of stuff, which I find really refreshing from, going and making beats every day to go and making a soundscape.
You'd be dealing with a lot of like time, like deadlines and stuff like that then, yeah?
That's it, yeah. So it's very different work, but it's very refreshing work, as I said, like, from going in and working on a kick drum for one of my, beats for 4 hours to going and making a soundscape of the Australian bush. It's very different.
Yeah, it would be.
Very, very different stuff.
But
and sort of very different environments as well. Like one's in a theatre, it's a very open sort of creative space. The other's just meant for headphones or whatever, or just for me, to listen to.
Yeah. So yeah, let's touch on this track that we're going to play. So let's talk about Mathers. So how did this come across? Like how did this remix come across?
Yeah, so I met Mathis on when Elegy and I toured with the Funkors. Mathis was the other support.
Yep.
So big ups to all those boys, love them all.
Yep.
But Mathis was the other support, and I saw him, and he's an amazing artist. He has this really theatrical sort of style about him, and very poetic in his lyrics. And his music's really cool as well. But I hit him up to do a remix for him, and he said, "Oh man, that's great timing. I've got 5 other dudes doing a remix of my single." Yep. And I was like, "Great." So he sent me the stems, and I got to work on it straight away. And it actually took me ages to figure this one out. And then I realized I'd made a beat a couple of days earlier that worked really well. So it just fit in perfectly.
Rory and myself actually, because on that tour for one of the shows that you couldn't come to, I went and done the 1s and 2s for Elegy.
Oh yeah, in Canberra.
In Canberra for that. So yeah, that was actually the first time I ever seen Mathers live, and
he puts on a show. Hey,
oh man,
it's a real stage
exactly.
show.
Yeah, wow.
That's what I really connected with him about. Like from working in theatre, I was like, man, this is a show.
Like his little like chair and the coffee table with the cups and
telephone in a box.
Yeah, like dude, that shit was crazy.
It just really makes you listen and watch, like, because most dudes are up there going, yeah, what's up, make some noise. And he's just like, g'day folks, I'm gonna rap at you for 2 hours. It's just like, it's totally different and refreshing, and it makes you go, whoa. And you can totally understand and appreciate his creativity in that, I think.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll play this track, man, and as soon as she's wrapped up, we'll just get you to sort of touch on what you've done musically to make this track sort of mold together.
Yeah, sweet.
All right.
The Fun Yeah, I'd like to report a troll.
The knowing nights are the bummer. The basement rats are the drama. The karma keepers. Corroding rust on the armor. Energy leeches off the herd and the farmer. You pay your toll. Billy Goat gruff with the thirst to see the greener side of life upon that side of the turf. The modern troll. And his hunger for blood that'll see you dragged under the bridge and your name through the mud. The keyboard seagulls, the savage peck of depression. The modern merchants a lesson, the human eaters. Stretch out your guts for the wrestle and nestle in, make their bed in your vessel. Etch their initials on your territory, bubble, huddle, scrum into formation. Bellies rumble off the rubble and the broken. I hope you're coping with every critic now invisible but vocal. Yak, 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 yak. Never coming face to face with them. They'll watch your feet though. They'll let you stuff your face in fistfuls to your super ego. Be building each up all that critical blood. Let it claim will rush in veins to your firewall is on. You learnt your methods well. Indicated swell of aggression. Any less is underestimate. That calling oppression. Aiding and bedding the little devil whispering petty into the earlobe of any paintbrush at the ready. You got lost and you tossed around by it. Took a knock for it. Rockin' honest at the fucking box for it. Sounded God in it. God damn it, I'll be damned if that ain't honest to God. It's in the second when you hit a chord and know that it's on. The room going to the moon glowing. Mind gremlin back flourishing in gizmo then. Pretty whistle drifting all romantic out the blowhole. The finest stream of gold for a hungry little soul dog to feed on. The poke when you're weak. Seething a brick and mortar leaking engine climb. Trophies to the glory chorus. I suppose that's just the way we eat here. Pillars of the surface nuisance. Pebbles of the Colosseums falling climb. Creeping back the comment stream. Suppose that's just the way we eat here. Suppose that's just the way we eat here. Can't you see we're trying to eat here?
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Can't you see we're trying to eat here?
Oh man, yeah, tell us a little bit about what you had to do to create this track. Like, you know, I know hip hop's a lot more sample based, and we tend to like chop and rearrange and pitch shift. And what did you do to flip this? So you obviously just working on ACCAs only?
Yeah. Well, I knew the original. I'd heard the original track, and it's like an organ based, and it's like single time. So it's, you know, dum 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 dum. It's very fast.
Yeah.
But I sort of went, no, I want to chill that back. It's like 80 BPM, so I thought, okay, I'm going to pull that back and just make it really chill and almost, you know, it's about trolls on the internet. So I was like, imagine this really sort of fantastical world, you know.
Yeah.
And I had that piano melody that I chopped up from an Ahmad Jamal song.
Another one.
Yeah. It's a really nice little piano melody. But what worked for me is it wasn't a traditional sort of chord progression.
Yeah,
and,
dude, I found that straight away.
Know,
yep.
Yeah, and that's what kind of interested me about it. I was like, oh, that was different if that went here. And it lifts up a tone, which is really unexpected. And then I sort of did the same thing with the bass. And I thought that was really cool. Like, let's keep that loop going. So I had built that, and then just built some nice, heavy, sort of natural drums around it. Quite simple, but, you know, still hard-hitting enough. And yeah, just laid that bass underneath it and sort of dragged along with the song, and it just sort of fell together in about 20 minutes.
Nice. Is it one of those things sometimes when you're doing remixing, to sort of add in extra elements or, you know, extra instruments or anything like that?
Yeah. I think with remixing as well, it's trying to do the original track justice without sounding like the original track.
Yeah,
you know,
Yep.
I
And it's
agree.
not
you got to really
thing.
got to. No, not at all. I went through probably 8 versions of that before I came to that version.
Wow.
You know, it's just like I knew where I wanted to go with it, but it just wasn't sounding right until I had that beat, and I was like, yep, this is going to sound cool.
That was the one.
It's very different.
Yeah, perfect. And I guess like on overall terms, like what else are you working on at the moment? I know I kind of know a bit, and for the people that are listening, Branford is very modest, but he is an amazing singer. And I know that you're doing a little bit of solo stuff, but I guess that's just in slow treading at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm trying to lay down a bit of production work, whether it be for myself or other people.
Yep.
Produced a few songs for Elegy's new album.
Yep.
Nice. Produced all of our mate OGO's last EP.
Yep.
Some of the new Soul X stuff.
Oh, really?
Made a few beats to him. Yeah.
Dope.
And the sort of long game plan I'm working on at the moment is to do a little EP just with my production, featuring pretty much my favourite rappers.
Amazing.
I'm mates with.
You should work with. Yeah, and you've also got some works in the production for Nookie's coming album too.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was a cool to hook up that Raj got me. And
oh,
yeah,
man.
I remember standing.
It's that some of the tracks that you've got in there is it's amazing, and it's kind of cool when we're in different towns, but when our sounds are like molding in this album together.
Yeah.
You know, which
It's really
I think
cool.
is really cool. Like they're not mimicked in any way from one another, but it's just like crazy how you haven't heard none of it, but then you sent beats that just sat right next to them.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And
That's
just
crazy.
I guess
I think that's
one more
the
thing,
beauty
man.
of the internet, you know.
Oh, dude, for sure. One more thing, man. And I guess just to touch on, like, what's your main influences now? Like, who are the people that inspire you and help push you as a producer and what you want to achieve?
I'm always listening to, and always tried to have to listen to, you know, the greats in sort of hip hop production, you know, like Dilla and DJ Premier, Ninth Wonder, those guys. I'm always like, you know, going back and listening to their sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as in Australia as well, I mean, my big 3 are Trials, JT Hazard, and your boy Raj Conkers. you can't go anywhere else, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming on to the show. 'Cause like we said, it's the first sort of thing for us where we're sort of going to be involving artists now, and it was really dope for you to be the first one, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, very proud, and thank you very much, please. Very happy, and keep doing your work because it's mad.
Thanks, bro. But man, we'll let you get back to it, and much love, man, and thank you for joining the podcast.
Okay, so love you, boys.
Love you,
See you,
man.
dude.
Catch you, bro. All right, that was Branford. That was the 4th podcast.
A talented young man.
Yeah, dude. Super nice guy, and we're gonna try and link some stuff in the link just to sort of show you guys what he's about and some of his material that he's got out there.
Absolutely.
And of course, any songs that we're playing will also be able to be found in the descriptions.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Have a good one.
Blah, 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 blah.